Hello everyone, friends one and all, and new friends, welcome, and I hope this encourages you to stick around. Maybe if you're not so much into the aircraft stuff, then maybe this might be hold some interest for you. Right, well, yes, not making a weird flex or anything like that, I mean, that's what the kids say these days, isn't it? Literally just showing, well, basically I did a lot of straightening up around here. Because I had to move things in a haste when we had some work done on the house, emergency repairs done on the plumbing system. Bit of a theme there, I believe Mr. Dodgers had some plumbing issues this week. But this was earlier in the year, but mental health's not been so great. If you've watched my channel on me updates, then mental health's not been great and I've not been motivated at all to do anything. I finally got a bit of a kick on Thursday and actually got to it. So, yeah. Unearthed Alone. I believe this is actually everything now. There might be another couple of errant items still lurking within. But, yes, this I believe is everything. So, just to show you the size of a jewel case, that's jewel case there. There's smaller ones for rolling stock, I think you can see some on the end here. But there's one there. There's these ones, but most of mine are this big with locomotives in. They go back about six, 7 deep behind here, and they're stacked quite a bit behind. I mean, there's more here at the front. So you've got the big bookcase ones here. There's the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 stacked. So you got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 of those all stacked up there. Not a flex one, I'm just going to start telling you how many there are. It's still. But yes, so I believe I alluded to at some point in the past, plans for a loud inspiration. Now, one of the things I've always been struggling with is the fact I've never been to Japan. I've never seen a D51, for example. I hope it's in shot. Obviously some of these are empty boxes because the stuff running on the loud sort of makes it a bit more visually interesting than me just sitting here waffling. But this is an important video to be made because obviously as part of my hobby blog, it blogs the day that really is. This is launch day, if you like, for a new beginning, a new project. Yes, so I'm very excited. And that's part of the thing with this was, I found these boxes, I need to put them out of the way for a minute while I sort other bits out and things. And I just got stacking them up and I suddenly thought, wow, if I put these 2 locos on the top, then that is literally my whole collection. That's quite a strange visualisation of one's hobby. And yeah, I thought, well, this is actually not a bad day to start a new project. I've looked at French things recently, I will admit. Because I said in that last channel update, I did, all through this really, I still like trains. When I put those videos up saying I've had railways or I'm done with the hobby, it's the realm of modern railways that mean the main one, and I will admit certain things in the UK heritage scene haven't done anything to bolster my enthusiasm, shall we say, but it has sort of reaffirmed my enthusiasm for the railways of Japan. Now, I would like to reach out actually, and this is a bit of a pause there because it sort of feels a bit cheeky to ask, but is there anyone from Japan watching who doesn't mind the fact I barely speak any Japanese and I would like to learn? I'm not asking you to be a teacher, but I would like to learn and hopefully have conversations in Japanese, maybe even. That would be fantastic one day. Anyway, baby steps. But if you would like, if you're into trains and you'd like to share your knowledge and enthusiasm with an eager listener and someone who would like to be as enthusiastic again as I once was for Japanese trains, which I still am pretty enthusiastic, let's face it. I may subscribe to a few non-Japanese railway channels on YouTube, and I still check most of them regularly. So if you are watching, I would really appreciate a pen pal. I did have a pen pal before, but contact became not an option at one point, unfortunately. But due to circumstances beyond either of our control, unfortunately, yes. But no, I would love to re-establish a connection with someone who I can talk to regularly, or maybe say weekly at least. Just an email. We've sent a big email back and forth or something like that. But yes, do let me know in the comments. That would be wonderful. Also, as I think I will go online. There must be a place you can go and find pen pals, and just state that, look, I'm looking for someone who's interested in trains and is able to share their knowledge and everything with me, their expertise with me. And I'll be more willing to, if there's anything I could share about the UK that you want to know. That's fair trade. Excuse me. And yes, so that was also been one of my big problems. Also, I've never seen things like a D51 or C62, or even one of the beautiful units such as the Panda Kuroshio in person. I have to live vicariously through YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and that sort of thing. And I just realised there's two computers at the end of this tray. Twit. But yes, regardless of that, it did bring to mind as well. I was briefly touched on this. It did bring to mind a question I was asked 3 years ago, because this is reference about 4-5 years of collecting. 3 years ago, during the pandemic, towards the end of the lockdown period, I was asked, have you ever considered doing anything British by quite a prominent British channel, especially at that time? And the answer to that obviously is yes. I have some British items here. They're all set to be sent off and traded in for cash, I'm afraid. Nothing nice in return, as it were, apart from money. Just to move them off, clear them out. But it's not ultimately my passion lies. But obviously, I've got that bridge to cross. I've got a passion for Japanese railways, and I do like the country as well. But conversely, having never been there, I've got no point of reference, sort of no personal no personal experience to sort of draw on and go, oh, when I was there and I saw this and this, and one day that might be possible. I might be able to do a whole new layout when that time comes. That'd be great, especially if I did have a friend or friends I could go and meet over there, and we could go and see the railways for real. That would be even better. That'd be fantastic. It's been trouble. That's why I've had to leave the railway hobby model railway hobby aside for a bit, because sorry, I just spotted another jewel case. There's another jewel case. So there's one over here that's missing from this pile. It's for the, I don't know if you can see it here, it's for the track cleaning vehicle. So it's represented visually still. Yes, so it's been troubling a little bit. And now, something I haven't made any secret of in the past is my love for the works of Studio Ghibli. And in particular, a film called My Neighbor Totoro, which I've been lucky enough to see on stage as well. I have Totoro themed stuff all over the place, really. It's all hidden. I did consider doing the video in my Totoro top, but it's already reasonably warm in here, so a bit too warm. I went for my Romansk hat instead. But yeah, sort of bubbling along with that, just doing the Ghibli side of things as far as Japanese stuff went, really. I'm watching the YouTube videos as well, some wonderful YouTube videos. And yeah, I went to Waterstones, which is a bookshop here in the UK, and was looking around, and they got some Ghibli stuff available, and a friend of mine had gone over to pick up an order. Anyway, I stumbled across this on the shelf. This is The Art of My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, love Totoro. I've got the pencils, I've got all the notebooks, I've got loads of stuff to do with it, right? Haven't got this yet. Do you know what? We're far enough away from Christmas and birthdays. I should be safe just to pick it up for myself, so I did that. Not a cheap buy, £28, quite an expensive one, but absolutely filled. I'll show you some quick, some beautiful artworks. Really, really showing off. And it's this page in particular where inspiration struck. This takes place in Japan. Okay, there's no two ways about it. And because people have been trying to tell me things about Japan that I didn't need to know, really, stuff that wouldn't affect me even if I went, you know, I don't believe it'd affect me. And it was kind of spoiling the place a bit for me. And I was a bit disillusioned. Disillusion was the right word, really. And I sort of thought, it was damaging my experience. And it's quite strange here. And this is actually the words of Hayao Miyazaki, who created, and obviously created the original story, the screenplay, and was the director of My Neighbor Totoro. And it said here, what can Japan be proud of? Until recently, parents and kids have been able to easily answer nature and the seasonal beauty. But no one can say that anymore. Those of us who live in Japan, and who are indeed Japanese, shun the reality of our country, where animation is a form of escapism. Is this country that awful, so devoid of hope now? Even in this global age, it's the most local things that have a worldwide effect. Yet why doesn't anyone make a delightful and wonderful sunset in Japan? We need a new method and sense of discovery to be up to the task. Rather than sentimental, the film must be a joyful, entertaining film. The forgotten, the ignored, those that are considered lost. Yet I made My Neighbor Totoro with a firm belief that these things still exist. To me, it sounds like he's disillusioned with how Japan is, or it was at the time, or the way direction it was heading maybe at the time. This is a book from the 80s, so things have changed. But I sort of thought, hang on a minute. This is the inspiration for this film is basically there's some disillusionment going on, and if I can quickly find the part where it talks about Japan again. So it's cool, I actually got the house for this in the scale for the layout. I was worried that this was going to spoil some of the magic I enjoy. But it's just added to it. It's totally just added to it. Sorry about this, folks. I should have. Maybe I should be earlier than that. Talk about yourselves for a minute. But it just is. Let's see. Oh, maybe it is in this bit. Alright. There's a part about creating. Here we go. It's supposed to be 1955, but we weren't terribly thorough in our research. What we had in mind was a recent past that everyone can relate to. So, it's loosely set in 1955, as it has just said there. Research wasn't thorough, but I can still take a lot from it. As regards to, I can couple it with other sources I may have. For me, my other book is from the 70s, it's photographs from the 70s, so I can sort of bring them together. But a recent past that we can all relate to. It's not a real world. It's set in Japan, but it's not a real Japan. It's just it's a memory of Japan, as it were. And I thought that gives me a lot more flexibility because I can do some bits, and I know it's set in the world of Totoro. It's Totoro's Japan. It's not necessarily real Japan, as it were. So while I'm not that knowledgeable and everything like that, no one, you can relate to it, but no one's ever actually been there, you know? And I suddenly thought, bingo! It was like a lightning bolt had hit me. That's what I need to do. Now, it's been... I'm going to go on a limb and say about 3 weeks or so since that lightning bolt, and I didn't do anything till yesterday of this. Train Tracks has sorted me out with nice U-track corners, and that's what we're testing the D51 going around with at the minute. It seems to be perfectly fine, by the way. It's ran most of last night, absolutely fine. But we finally got to inspiration. So this is the plan basically. The track plan. I'm not going to draw one out. I'm basically going to play with bits of track until I find something I'm happy with. Operate it for a while, see how that goes. If I want to change anything, I've got the option to. Once that's done, I've already got foam ready to go. I've got the track ready to go. Obviously, I've got stock. It shouldn't be. One of the other big problems I've had with model railways is immediately I start seeing pound signs everywhere or money signs, money everywhere. It seems to be a big money sink. Everything costs. Now I realise this is a problem me over the board. I mean, I can't help myself. It seems I spent too much last weekend, for example. Really, but like the V bombers. I mean, it's great. I can spread the cost of them. And they're going to be there for when I want them now, which is the main thing of that. But it's so that's a bit of self-control. So there's a bit of a challenge in this, I suppose, is to do this project and see it through. And that I can think of. I mean, if I stay away from all the announcements, I'll never know. I mean, I wouldn't mind a new one of these. I mean, this one runs. This one runs fine. It's just a normal model. C56. Sorry, C58. I'll get the C56. Not sure. The 262 steam engine. That'd be nice to have a new model of that. But hey, if they're out there, they're out there. You know, I might be able to pick one up. Who knows? Who knows how long it takes me to get the layout done? But I think if we say that it must at least have grass and trees down. Grass, trees and roads down before I buy any more rolling stock or anything else for it, for that matter. I'll make do with what track I have. I've got a big bag of track, so and it's even there. You can see my eyes sort of darting around the room. I'm trying to think of loopholes I can give myself. You You see, so I mean, that's from the man, and this is part of why I'm sharing it with yourselves. Maybe you can see a bit of yourself in this and think, I do that. Yeah, perhaps I should set myself a deadline or a goal. It might work for everyone, it might not work for me, who knows? But yes, we can get I can get the track sorted out, and that. I mean, for now, I am just going to play trains. I will be honest, I'm just going to play trains. I am even considering a stream tonight. I don't know if anyone wants that or not. But seeing as we've got the literal whole collection out next to me, we could have quite a nice time. The next engine I need to test is an 8620. Those are the only two that I've had trouble with. On the old, the tighter Kato curves. I mean, part of what's in my head at the minute for this one is to make it as flexible as possible, so buildings will only be placed on there. They won't be permanently glued down in a lot of cases. But also what I would like to try and do maybe is get it set up so I've got the running line outside. There's never going to be room on this board for 2-track, sadly. But get the running loop set up and actually have it, coming off the outer loop, so I can run things in and out other times when I want to. Total flexibility on operation. But have the ingle nook set up in the middle. So in a stream maybe we could do some ingle nooking whilst we've got a mainline train running past, and that can change periodically or whatever. We can have the same one or just adds that extra depth of interest to an ingle nook shunting puzzle maybe. So yes, the gears were already turning, but so it was probably about time I did a video where I actually got to show you off the entire collection in one shot. I'm still very proud of all this. I am. It is pride. I do feel I've achieved something in collecting this much. I mean, as I say, I've had a really troubled checkered history with model trains. It's turned into a joke for some people, which I would ask kindly, please, if you don't mind that, we'll leave that joke behind now. Clean, fresh slate for everything moving forwards. And there's the Hitayoshi. That's the one that Joel, that one in the suit, if you're watching, the Hitayoshi that yourselves, your family very kindly gave as birthday money, and obviously Jonathan and my sibling gave me money towards my birthday. Sitting right there, another 8620 actually. So yeah, it's been a tricky issue, but I have actually stuck with it to collect this much. There's been some wobbles, but I've collected all this. There's actually one conspicuous by its absence, which is no longer mine, which is the DD51 I sent to the Highboy and Hogger, but it's doing a sterling service for him, and I'm very proud of that being over there. The original Dale Diesel is with its biggest fan, and obviously there were some other hiccups as well. The 103 EMU I had, the Twilight Express, can't ignore that one. There's a video on this channel for the Twilight Express, you can go and find it, and a Shinkansen, but the Shinkansen was a mistake. That was a mistake to purchase. It's actually a really big video with a number of hits, and I can only think some people think it was something wrong with the model. It's just me and Shinkansens. I like them. I'm on record, I like them. They just don't suit the modelling needs. The Kinetsu Railway Trainer, that one, is all subjects of wobbles, I'll call them. But yeah, wobbles I can correct in time. Oh, the second Panda Kuroshio was another one as well. I did have two of those. This is my original one still, because the thing I was hoping for on the new one, which is something I've seen on the real one, is there's a little panda that, so you got the face at the front, and there's like the blue stripe that comes in. There's like a panda now on the train, peering over that stripe. Wasn't present on the model. So okay, it's not doesn't actually, apart from the logo changing on the side of the the adventure park changing. It's no different to this one. So I was, okay, don't need two. Do I regret that? Maybe a possibility. It might be nice to have all of them, really. Now, Oak Hill Model Railway, Gary has a really good policy of not selling anything. Well, sorry, Gary, I have to break that to get rid of this last British stuff. But I'd like to take that policy on myself, and if I say clean slate after I've got rid of that, again, all clean slate, doubling down on not getting rid of any of this. I want to hug it. Then yeah, it's one of those. But yes, I'm extremely pleased with all of this, and say 4 years worth of work here. Now, I have a good chum. I've mentioned a few times. I'm mentioning a few people's names in this video. Chum, is Greg, and Greg very kindly gave me a collection of British 00 items. And out of what he's given me, I can actually make an England look if I wanted to, including the track, the locomotives, the rolling stock. So everything I've got to go there can go, and I've still got enough to do that with. That's something I might look at in the future. So I might yet have a little bit of British. That's because it's a gift to me, and it's special in another way. It's special in another way, particularly the fact that one of the items is a diesel locomotive that my father had on his layout as well, which is really, really cool. So, but whether that will appear on YouTube, I don't know just yet. That's when it will happen, because obviously I've got so much going on now. I've got air shows coming up soon. I've got a trip to Lincoln. I need to book the day first, but a trip to Lincolnshire soon. The Lancaster, for the 80th anniversary of the Dams Raid, is going to be doing a flying tour of all the Lincolnshire airfields, second floor airfields, and I'd like to be up there for that. I've got the model aircraft stuff to do. I'm still working on that P-51 Mustang, as I showed in the stream the other day. A Sky Raider still in progress. I have got some model kits I want to move on because they don't suit my needs anymore. I feel comfortable doing what I'm doing. Yeah, it's apparently it's the new form of company to you actually spending money, and I think that's what I fall into. You have a bit of a bad day, you buy something to make yourself feel special. The trouble is, when you've got expensive hobbies, it can be quite expensive buys. But also, I mean, I've got 3 Sky Raiders now in 48 scale. And don't you actually see that one peering over the top? It's quite large. And I might actually move on to the second one because I'd like a different one. Actually, I'm looking at a straight swap, and if I can, there's a trading thing on page on Facebook. I might offer it a swap. If anyone's got the Royal Navy version of it, that would be something I prefer. But yes, I've spent lots of time of recent learning about all the American aviation and everything. Got really fired up for it, and it just suddenly, I listened to Harrier 809 and I got so stoked for that, and the fact it was my country of origin. So yes, if you want British stuff, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in my aviation interests. So anything American I can put into British colours will stay. And I've really got to assess what I do with the Second World War Japanese stuff as well. Zeros I still love. I can't help myself with that. I think it's a beautiful aeroplane. I do think the Spitfire probably has taken over as my number 1 Second World War fighter. I know, very generic, eh? But yes, the British stuff, that's where you're going to see it mostly. But anyway, so if you're on stream tonight, and or you're a Japanese rare enthusiast and like to share, be happy to share in chats and email and that, then drop a comment below. I shall keep an eye on the comments, and if there's even one person says they wouldn't mind a stream, then we'll do it. If you're new to the channel, you haven't seen a stream before, then if it happens, I look forward to that. Look forward to seeing you there. If you are a regular, what would you like to see? I'll leave it all down to you. But before I leave you, I will just make a fool of myself. Well, I did say I was going to make a fool of myself, but yeah, this is the outfit I said I would be boiling the bag in if I tried as well to use the hat. But like I did say, I did warn you, I'm a little bit mad. I do really like Totoro. There we are. So I became Totoro. I chose to become Totoro. Good day. Thanks for watching. See you in another video.